Welcome back. There's another update regarding the Agnipath recruitment row, where politicians have been raising questions as to why there is a caste certificate that is needed to be submitted before the enrollment happens, and the army officials have now clarified on the allegations that have been leveled by the opposition that caste and religious certificates now being asked for the Agniveer scheme. And I'm quoting from the statement that goes on to say that requirement for the aspirants to submit caste certificates and if required religion certificates was always there. No change for the Agniveer recruitment scheme in this regard. Religion is also required for performing last rites as per religious rituals for recruits who die during training and soldiers who die in harness, unquote. So that is the statement that is now coming in from the army, as earlier questions were being raised that this sort of a caste division that was never there in the army. Why certificates are being asked to those aspirants who want to enroll themselves in the Agniveer scheme. Now the army has come out with a clarification on the allegations that are being leveled, and they go on to say that requirement for the aspirants to submit their caste certificates and if required religious certificates was always there. There has been no change whatsoever that has been made in the new Agniveer scheme by the government, and the same protocol and procedure is being followed in the Agniveer scheme as thousands are getting themselves enrolled in the defense forces. However, religion is also required if there is any unfortunate incident that takes place, and if a soldier or even a trainee dies during such sort of an incident, if that take place, and if religious rituals are needed to be carried out, their religion needs to be known. So Srinjoy, what exactly is this controversy that is now brewing regarding the caste and the religious certificates?
Well, the controversy is wholly unnecessary, because let's not forget that, yes, as you rightly said, if someone passes away, if someone is killed in battle, he sacrifices his life for the country, then the people who are taking care of him have to know what religion he is of, what caste he is of, because the last rites are important. And in any case, if you look at the structure of the army, you have, for instance, the Sikh regiment, which comprises Jat Sikhs. You look at the Sikh light infantry, which comprises Mazhabi Sikhs. So it's very clear that there is a caste delineation. This was created by the British Raj. Now, with the Agnipath scheme, this will actually be reduced. The level of caste and religion will be much less in the army in the future, for the simple reason that people who are joining from the Agnipath scheme will be able to join or will eventually be part of any regiment. For instance, someone from the south could well become part of the Maratha regiment or the Rajput regiment or the Bihar regiment or any regiment.
Right.
So this is how it happens. In fact,
so
some
important
of the
clarification coming there from the army side on the same. Pranesh is also with us right now. Pranesh, the objection and the clarification, please.
Here's the how it began. Tejasvi Yadav tweeting this, "Jaat na poocho sadhu ki, lekin jaat poocho fauji ki." And then he put out this document that was also tweeted by Sanjay Singh of the Aam Aadmi Party. He said, "Modi sarkar ka ghatiya chehra desh ke सामने आ चुका है. क्या मोदी जी दलितों, पिछड़ों, आदिवासियों को सेना भर्ती के काबिल नहीं मानते?" And this is the document that he tweeted. Caste certificate affixed with photograph of the candidate issued by the Tehsildar or the district magistrate. Then Amit Malviya of the BJP responded to that and said this obsession to blame PM Modi for everything means the likes of Sanjay Singh put their foot in mouth every day. Army's regiment system has existed right from the British era. Post-independence it was formalized in 1949 through a special army order. Modi government has changed nothing. And then you heard from the army also, like Srinjoy was saying, requirement for aspirants to submit caste certificates and if required religion certificates was always there. No change for Agniveer recruitment scheme in this regard. Army officials on allegations by opposition that caste and religion certificates now being asked for Agniveer scheme. Amita.
All right, so that is the counter that is coming in from the army side there. But if I can come back to you quickly on that, Srinjoy, because how does it now affect when it comes to the fresh recruits there, as they can join any regiment, as you were given an explanation?
See, in most recent times, there are large parts of the army where you don't have to worry about everyone is all together. For instance, in the artillery or the guards or large parts of the army. Now it's a question of some of these old regiments that were created by the British Raj. For instance, as I mentioned to you, the Sikh regiment and the Sikh light infantry. Now there is people of a certain kind join the Sikh regiment, people of a certain kind will join the Sikh light infantry. Now with Agnipath, this could all change, not immediately, not today, not tomorrow, not in 5 years, but some years later, you will find that these barriers will not be there. People who want to join or will be maybe allowed to join any regiment of the Indian Army, infantry regiment. So these are things in the future. At this point, to bring up issues about caste, see, it's all there. It's already there according to the rules. So there has been no change. There has been no deliberate attempt by the Indian government to say, okay, now you're the Agnipath scheme, you have to mention your caste, you have to mention your religion. That just is absolutely untrue.
Right, so those objections being raised by the opposition, the BJP coming out and saying that this is unnecessary. However, the army also coming out with the clarification saying that it was always there. This is not a new phenomenon that is only being followed. The same thing is being followed in the current Agniveer scheme as well. Let's take a look at the ground report first.
लगातार आप लोग जो है वो सरकार से चर्चा की मांग कर रहे हैं, कह रहे हैं इस योजना को खत्म करनी चाहिए, लेकिन इसके साथ एक नया विवाद शुरू हो गया है। बिहार में जेडीयू इस बात का जिक्र कर रही है और आम आदमी पार्टी ने भी के सांसद ने ट्वीट किया है कि अग्निपथ में जो सेना में जो जा रहे हैं उस फॉर्म में जाति का जिक्र करने के लिए कहा जा रहा है। इसका मतलब कि जाति पूछी जा रही है जो सेना में भर्ती हो रहे हैं।
देखिए, मैं कहूंगी कि ये उन्हीं के बी और एक तो उनके अलायंस पार्टी है, वो किस मंशा से कह रहे हैं। हम लोग अग्निपथ के खिलाफ है। ये हमारी देश की फौज को भी, डिग्निटी को भी कम करता है, हमारी सुरक्षा को भी।
Defense expert Mr. Arisan Singh is with us on the phone line. Sir, exactly what is the problem when it comes to raising questions on caste and religious certificates with the opposition is now raising? Was it always part of the army, sir?
No, I don't want to get into this, the political side of it, but I can only say that the armed forces have been entrusted with the task of, defending the country, and in the process, waging wars for the defense of the country. So if you have to, if you have to rely on the armed forces, what sort of recruitment they want, you should leave it to them. They're all experienced people. See, we served in the army, and we are, we are now, whatever we are called, veterans. I don't know for what reason. But, there was a recruitment process in vogue in our time. In 70s, the colored service was 7 years. In Second World War, 25 lakh people, 2.5 million.
Absolutely, and it shows in the recruitment, sir, how many thousands of people and the youngsters are actually getting part and they're getting enrolled in this Agniveer scheme, and this is surpassed the previous numbers of the recruitments that has happened previously. Thank you, sir, for joining us here on the broadcast, and thank you to you, Srinjoy and Pranesh as well. We head into a short break, back with the top headlines.